What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? My voice is killing me, but you know what? I had to stop and say what's up to Jason of S7 Customs. Thank you for being here, Jason. This dude, we were just talking. We were seeing him. I was hearing conversate, and then he was talking about painting pieces. So he's a painter. I'm gonna let him introduce himself so he can explain to you what he does. We're gonna go over pictures of how he got into this game. And I'm telling you right now, these pictures are gonna blow your mind to the point where everybody I talk to in the game, we be talking about, yo, I got this piece, I'm gonna get it painted. Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants, you're gonna get your piece painted. And then they were like, you don't understand. They was like, dude, once you get somebody to paint it, it's on a whole nother level. I'm like, oh no, the piece should have came painted right the first time. And then I seen your pictures. I'm like, I got some pieces that I think I need to get your contact information because now I got a painter. It was like,
so it's something like when you hear really, really good audio on really good speakers.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You listen to like an older system and you're like, oh, I can't go back to that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where, like, when you get painted, that you raise that bar a little bit, you can see the potential that these pieces have in terms of the quality you get it to. So
it's crazy because we were looking at some, and there's what's cool about we're here. First of all, we're here at STATUECON 2024. Why am I looking down here when the camera's over there? At STATUECON 2024. Thanks to Marco and Collector Zone, it allowed us to see all of these statues from various different qualities and all of this good stuff. Some beautiful, beautiful pieces. But then there was some that you'd be like, I was hearing you talk about some, and you were like, man, I could add layers to it. So what makes your pieces more like the pieces these guys put out are phenomenal?
Yeah.
But you have the ability to take them to the next level.
Yeah, like in a factory situation, when these are painted, like the process is broken down so they can paint the different stages of that. But as a person that's focusing on one piece, right, and you're doing it something very specific for somebody, the amount of layers and steps you take are drastically more than you would from a factory setting, because it doesn't make sense monetarily for them to have people painting for hours and hours to like make these really depth skin tones. And I think over the years they've done a better job as time went on in terms of process. A lot of great pieces coming out from these licensed companies. But when you go into the custom end of it, that's where myself will I'll spend a day or two on just skin tones on a piece to make sure they look as real as possible. And I'm a collector myself, so like I'm kind of fueled by that as I sort of bring this piece to life. I get this sort of very passionate, like I'm almost obsessed until I've finished it, right? So it's such a great honor to be able to take some of these amazing sculptures and like make them the best they can by adding the paint.
Dude, and we got some fine examples of that we're gonna pull up soon. But also, you mentioned speakers.
Yeah.
And we got to talking a little bit last night, and I was showing you my collection, and then you was like, "Oh, you got B&W speakers." You knew the quality of it. You knew the brand. You knew the quality, and I was like, you're an audiophile. He was like,
I originally went to school for sound for film, so I worked in recording in studios, building sound for picture. So I was really into audio stuff. And I have a theater in my house. I have all my Bowers and Wilkins throughout my house, really nice amplifiers. So I guess we have a lot in common.
We have a lot because, dude, when you said that, and then I showed you what those things would be like. He shows something, and he'd be like, oh, then you show him, and then so much in common. We were ping ponging up for that, and then it was crazy because then you started showing some pieces, and I'm just sort of like, yo, you went from talked about Transformers from the Prime and sort of the certain aspect of it, and then you moved now into Predator. Would you like to walk it back and go over some of the pieces that you started with earlier?
Yeah, so we can show some pictures of.
Let's bring that up.
So I've been painting for about 8 years for collectors, people all over the world. So This is a piece I did for a gentleman in Singapore. I think I did this about 7 years ago, but it's a custom Captain America. I still to this day I think it looks really good. I took some liberties with this piece. You can see on the blue, I did more of a metallic blue to really kind of give it that shine. You know, I added some embellishments like the little logo on the rocks right there.
So that wasn't there. That wasn't there. Added.
So I made a stencil and I added on there. So I love doing all that fun stuff. And you'll see in more pictures as I do more projects. And let's say I painted a lot of Hulks, and I've painted a lot of the same kit about 26 times.
Oh my god!
And we'll see some pictures of it, but I've done some modifications to keep it fresh for me, to keep me excited about it, and also like start pushing my tail a little bit more. So
you've worked with some of the more well-known collectors and YouTubers and from all over the spectrum. Mr. X usually reaches out to you a lot, and I have to just apologize to Mr. X because I got caught up and some other stuff that I was recording. So hopefully we'll get him on later today. But yeah, you do a lot of work for Mr.
Yeah,
X.
I've been painting for him for about 5 or 6 years. We'll show some pictures on it.
You let me know when we.
If you want to start cycling through. But yeah, I painted a lot for him, so we'll see some of the pieces you guys might have seen in reviews that he's done of pictures that I took. So this actually is his Red Hulk that I did. Originally, the head, I actually resculpted the head to make it look like the Red Hulk. So I added more wrinkles in his forehead. I redid his hair and obviously painted him red. But I also redid the base. If you want to cycle next photo.
Of course.
I made, this used to be a Hulkbuster head. I made it into a Juggernaut.
Dude, so you could actually freaking purpose something that's
it's a little out of scale in terms of what a Juggernaut head looks like, but that's how big the Hulkbuster head, and it was a cool way to, you know, add a little bit more, you know, a cool factor to it. So if you want to go to the next one, you can see.
Before that, somebody's complimenting your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I love that Gojira shirt.
Yeah, I love me some monsters, man.
And not only that, he had a dope Brotherhood shirt on last night. So his shirt game is on fleek. Is the kid still saying shirt game on fleek? Jason's shirt game's on fleek. Shout out to Edwin Diaz. Shout out to Jesse Hernandez. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Bam.
So that's the full one. Yeah, that's one Mr. X had reviewed many years ago, and he actually told me a story about this one. He's like, it was on the chopping block, but I looked at it again, and he's like, I can't get rid of it. I love it too much. So as a painter, that makes me feel good, right? So
that he will never get rid of a piece.
Yeah, but that I did a good enough job to where he feels that way, especially as someone that's seen so many statues.
Yeah.
And to have your love for that piece, it motivates me as an artist. So very thankful.
Look at the nails. And you did a really good job repurposing.
And then after I did this one, I did 4 more of that same type. So
really,
yeah.
I just love all of the paints and the kits and sort of you have all the equipment.
Surrounded by all the goodness. We got a lot of pictures to show.
Yeah, let's go.
I started doing a lot of prototypes for some of the custom groups, and this is one of my first prototypes from one of my good friends. This is pictures of that prototype. Prototype being, if you guys don't know, you paint the primary master one that gets sent back to the factory, and then they copy that for all the other ones. And you usually coach the factory around getting some of the paint right to make it look just like the prototype too.
This come right from the game with the white spider.
Yep, that was the first of that suit that was made in quarter scale.
Yeah, the advanced suit.
Yep. This is the Thor. This is actually sculpted by Sheridan Deuce. Beautiful piece. This is actually one I won a gold medal on at Wonderfest many years ago.
Gold medal winner, Jason.
So very proud of that piece. Turned out really good. Very dynamic Thor.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
Let's go through here. We got 2 Sabertooths. You see, I think the one on the left was Mr. X's. And most of his videos, if you look behind him, it's sitting behind him. Just a beautiful statue. A little overscaled, but like one of the best Sabertooths, I think.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Quality-wise, amazing. And that's what it looks like, too. So you can see. I did that probably about 5 years ago, but man, the snow, like really up close, I added the snow to it.
Okay.
And I added like a lot of that modeling snow and snow on his foot. So anytime I paint, I'm always thinking about the physics of the scene right?
Yeah.
So if he puts his foot down on the log, you see a little bit of snow under his foot, stuff like that. So like really kind of making sure that everything makes sense.
So when you say you added the snow, did you put more material there and paint it over it?
So it was sculpted. It looked like more like cottage cheese on top of some logs. So you can buy modeling snow stuff that basically is kind of granular. And then you have this powder stuff you can add to, and then you glue it all on there, and then it makes it look like real snow.
Dude, that's freaking
This is not cold.
That is dope.
And some close-ups of those portraits.
See the teeth, the fang.
Yeah, this is a really cool piece. It's one of my favorite portraits right there.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good tongue them out.
Yeah. And pictures never do the justice, especially when you do so many different layers and they're so subtle in there too.
Here's your pineapple juice, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll get your sub, sir.
I appreciate it. And
Mr. Crippler.
Okay, you see how they just interrupt?
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys grabbing that.
And all right, that's another portrait. Yeah.
Dude, that's it.
Cycle through. So this is a Hulk I did years ago as a prototype again. You can see how big it is. This is the 3rd scale one. This is about as big as the LBS Hulk. Really fun project too.
Nice. What would you do if somebody said, "Hey, can you repaint my LBS Hulk?"
I'd be honored to. I have a couple in my pipeline.
Oh, really? You do?
I have two that are scheduled later this year.
How would you improve it?
I would prime over it and just completely redo it. Like they painted it. I mean, it looks decent, but like there is, another 10, 15 steps I can go to really like define those veins and the skin and all that, because it's a beautiful sculpt, and like I think adding a little bit more detail to it's going to just elevate that piece so much further.
That's dope. You haven't completed one yet, though.
I have not completed one.
I can't wait. You gotta show me those pictures when you get those.
I'll definitely be sharing that stuff. More prototypes I've done. This is a symbiote Spider-Man versus Shocker. Again, this was a really good project. We worked with the factory really closely, and the end product, we got a lot of a great copy of the prototype itself. So I think this is the Wolverines I did. Just like keep cycling through here. It's another prototype I did. You guys might have seen this. I did this prototype as well. Scarlet Spider-Man.
Scarlet Spider.
So fun. We had an issue with this one where on her sweater the spider logo wasn't sculpted on there.
Oh, was it?
So what I did is as a painter, I figured out I made a vinyl cutouts of the logo, and then I heat wrapped it to the chest of it, and it actually sticks to the resin. And then I instructed the factory to do that as well, and it stayed on there for the whole time.
That's the type of stuff I love to hear, like, because there's always going to be roadblocks, and it's always interesting to figure out.
Especially when you're doing prototypes, because you're getting like the raw castings, and there is a lot of times engineering issues. So you want to think about the end user's experience, right? As a collector, I want something to last, and it's easy to put together, and I'm not breaking anything. So,
dude, that was a fantastic solution. Oh, what we got here?
So this is an older picture of my collection, but you can see on the floor all the Hulks that I was painting. I was doing 5 at once. I've done a lot of people hire me to do a lot of Hulks, but you see on the other side here is just a lot of pieces that I had worked on or was working on. So my house is just filled with statues all the time. I do this for a living, so they're everywhere. So, but I'm just showing, this is some earlier photos of some of my older collections and rooms. Some things that I do here is, if you guys notice, this is some heads from an older sideshow Joker. And there's 2 more heads here that are custom heads. So a lot of sculptors will make extra heads for license pieces down the road, and I paint those for people as well. So
that's what's up.
Here is that Hulk that I showed before. I like to add, like I said, extra stuff. So I 3D printed some barrels, added some UV paint, so it looks like there's gamma radiation coming out of there.
So that's crazy cool. Because you don't just paint. You can, if there's ways to improve it and add to it, you do it in really creative ways. That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like without the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And I've painted about 25 of these Hulks over the years for people. So.
And they're distinct. It's not like you're using the same rough
No,
the colors.
I've done a different color every time. I add different elements to the bases and all that. So.
That's so freaking awesome.
This is another prototype, but this is how I get the prototype. It's just a raw kit. Some people have, that's why I added it on here so you can see. This is normally what I get, and this is a custom vision that was done many years ago. It was actually turned into a pretty good grail. A lot of you guys would probably recognize this piece.
Dude.
But it turned out really good. But this is what I usually start with. And then
So
we go to the next photo. Oh, that's another one I did. I guess, no, go forward two more. One more. No, I guess I didn't put it in there. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
So that's the painted version of that vision.
Wow.
So what this was intended to be a compliment to the Captain America that had the Ultron head in his hand and the shield.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So we were trying to match the base because the base has got that sort of blue hue tone. So and it has the Ultron body on the bottom. So that's essentially it was intended to be displayed with all those.
I love how the different greens.
Yeah. Nice and clean.
Yeah. That's dope.
This is.
Dude, you need to go back to.
Let's see what else we got here. Again, custom heads. This is for Sideshow Hulk that people had.
The classic.
Classic Sideshow Hulk.
Okay.
These are custom heads that people had sculpted over the years, and I painted this for a client of mine, Maestro. We've got. He wanted to do a fun one with Compound Hulk, so we did a compound face. That's so super cool. Another one.
Whoa.
I did this one for a Todd Johnson's customer years ago. This is Punisher vs. Walking Dead. Just a weird mashup statue, but super fun.
Crazy.
I think that's it. So we'll go back to that.
Wow.
Soldier Wolverine. You guys might have seen this on the Extreme channel. This is the one that that Mr. X owns. Love this. I actually got another one in the mail 3 months ago, so I'm doing another one. So I'm excited to do that. Yeah, really cool. Sculpted by Franco Carlissimo.
Yeah.
So
this is what we was pointing out earlier, like the sweat lines on it.
Yeah, I was adding all the details, like where he's sweating in the front of his tank top. He's got a little bit of dirt here. I just want to look at the physics and what would happen in that scene and really build it up. And it really kind of sells it, So
that's awesome.
Close up.
There it is. You can see it.
Yeah, you can see the sweat. You can see the different colors. A little bit of rust on the grenades. The cigar looks like it's lit. So.
That's good.
Hobgoblin I did. This is the custom one I did. This is for a guy I did in Australia. So just a lot of variety of characters, man. So this is a Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm.
The reason I showed this one is just doing fire. A lot of you see in a lot of statues sometimes fire is not painted correctly.
Very hard to do fire.
Because what happens is fire is the reverse image, right? Because the darker or the recessed parts are lighter, and the peaks are darker. So you have to paint it that way. And did a pretty good job. Looks like fire. Right?
It actually, sort of gets brighter in certain places you want. The highlights are still retained, but the dark tips.
Exactly. So that's another prototype I did. This, for example, this is a bunch of Hulk heads. If you go to the next picture, so everyone remembers this Hulk. That was a custom head that someone had done, and I had painted a bunch of them for people. So
he's about to smash.
Yep. Another sideshow piece that we have modified.
Casual says, a lot of cool pieces. I'm sure it's hard to pass up some of these grills when they come in. Pause. Sup, peeps. Sup, Casual. Sup, Random Korean. So, we could talk a little bit about that as we go through. But you do get a lot of pieces throughout your lab.
I have boxes all over my house. I have a storage space. My garage is filled up. I have no flat spaces open in my house.
How does that influence your collecting?
So what I've been trying to do, since I do this for a living now and I do this all day long, when I want to disconnect from my job, I try to keep all my projects in my work areas and not in my personal collection area.
Yeah.
Because and when I transition to hanging out in there, I want to feel like I'm not painting statues and working and I'm relaxing. So it is tough. I wish I had a bigger house, but it is what it is. So,
if you can say, have you been contacted or have you tried to contact people about doing it in a corporate environment,
like doing it for like licensed
like,
pieces.
yeah, licensed pieces for like XM
I've been
sites,
approached
or-
a couple times for smaller licenses, but I tend to like enjoy the freedom of the doing with the personal collector or working on even custom pieces or a lot of fan art, because there's a lot of freedom of creativity. Maybe down the road it'd be fun to do some licensed stuff, because I think there's some stuff to be proud of to do that work too.
Yeah.
So
No, but like you said, I think the reason people reach out to someone like you is because you get that working on focusing on that piece. You got, maybe you do a lot, but you can take your time with it, and it's going to take the time it takes. And I'm pretty sure you communicate that to the person, versus like, I got a batch of 2,000 that need to be painted, or you got the factory.
So you really get to focus and make something really special for somebody, and that's what people want. I did started doing some female pieces. This is my first female piece, Savage Storm.
Black skin is very hard to do.
I studied and studied and studied before I painted her, and I was so proud how it came out. So I have a second one to do for a guy in Japan, but beautiful piece.
It's beautiful because you can see the shadow and the lighter, and as it
very
gets dark.
Subtle work. But man,
some people make it looks like a chocolate bar, or it doesn't look like skin. But seeing this, I think that's beautiful.
It was fun.
That's when I knew you were a real painter.
Yeah.
No, I'd seen all of it. It looks great. But I'm like, when you could get like those tones right, you know it.
And then this is a Wonder Woman prototype I did. I'm just showing some of the female work I've done. Did some battle paint on her eyes.
Yeah.
I used actually pigment instead of paint. Like
really?
And went with makeup brushes to get that look.
Wow.
Because it doesn't really necessarily look painted. It looks like it looks makeup, right?
Yep.
So that's what I used to get that look on there, which was pretty cool. So
awesome.
I think we got a couple of pictures of her. So you can kind of see just the soft, shades under her cheek, and you're obviously looking at makeup too for ladies, looking at how that's gonna be applied to the face, because I had never done makeup before, so you gotta look at that stuff to be able to do an execution of it too. So
I like how versatile you are.
There's Gal Gadot head. You see there's the hair's got blue highlights in it, so it's got that comic book. Nothing should be one color. There's always should be some depth in some way. And the fact really fun projects
that you identify how much to apply to get the desired effect.
Absolutely. So this is love doing fun ideas. So I included this one. This is a Silver Surfer, actually sculpted by Franco Carlissimo as well.
Franco.
This board, he's standing in front of it. I actually I use a special paint that has a really high black pigment in there, and I made the darkness of space on the back of the board. So if you want to cycle through, you'll see how black that is, and I painted all the stars in the background because I was trying to. My idea was space is reflecting off this reflective surface,
dude.
And it was a cool Easter egg to have in the back of the statue. So
that actually came out.
Go one more, really, I think.
Man.
So you can see. So I painted galaxies around on the bottom, and then we did the really, really black paint on the back with the stars. And I think the next picture you get to see the full statue, like how he's walking. So
that was it right there?
That was it.
Dude, that is sick, dude.
Very stoic, very iconic.
You don't do a chrome surfer because he's a silver surfer, but have you did chrome surfer?
Well, so the problem with chrome is that you need a special equipment and sprayers to do it, and I don't have that equipment. Like we have different ways of getting close to chrome because chrome is actually using metal within the paint. It makes it very heavy too. So, but Silver Surfer and chrome is beautiful, and I've seen them on Silver Surfers before. But I think when it's too shiny, because it's reflecting everything around it, you can't see the detail of the sculpt.
Dude, Danny Bell said the exact same thing when he was going over his. That's the you guys have that artistic understanding because a lot of people do chrome to
just
do
chrome
like
bling
bling. But
I think you're taking away from the piece.
Yes. So, there you guys go. Like you guys think.
Again, there's another. The reason why I showed this one,
Gladiator.
Gladiator is custom, but I did candies on it, so it's the same
candy
process.
paint.
you would do on a
On
motorcycle
a car.
or a car, right?
Yeah.
So you do that silver coat, and then you're doing a transparent color over it to get that nice shiny look. This one I did for a guy in Singapore.
I just wanted to look at.
Yeah,
I love
cool
how it
piece, man. It's
transitions.
huge too. That piece is massive.
What, is it quarter?
Almost 1/3.
Almost 1/3.
So Mad X Hulk, a lot of you guys have heard this. This is a very expensive and rare piece. I just wanted to show it because I always wanted to paint one, and I got.
You got your chance.
I got my chance. So
Evan Diaz says, "Love this surfer that we showed previously. Awesome job. That's what's up. You got some things."
Yep, I did this is another prototype I did, which is a companion to the Johnny Storm. They did the whole line, so this is
You got the whole line then.
Did the thing for the group. Switch out torsos. Another prototype I did.
This thing's huge, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's this, a half scale or something?
No, it's quarter scale.
Really?
Yeah, and he's got the little the bamf behind him with the little demons.
Wow.
To paint this desk, you have these wood rollers that you can put on it and make a fake wood pattern. I 3D printed smaller ones, and then I rolled this, so I made all the wood grain too.
Dude, I love hearing stuff like this because it's every time we looking at pictures of new reveals or statues, sometimes the paint could be too simple and sometimes it could be overdone, and finding the right amount of details or like adding the grain that actually would just, there's a lot of extra work but pays off at the end, because wood needs to look like wood, and wood grain is an attribute that you
don't want to make it look like a toy.
Exactly. Because that's my pet peeve. When something looks like a toy,
you can have an amazing sculpt, but if it's like the paint is so simplistic, it does cheapen the look of it.
Yes.
And if just doing a little bit more can really take a long way.
And it's the same with switch out. You can have a beautiful sculpted statue, and if the weapons look like toy, it takes away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Samurai Wolverine I did. That tree is absolutely enormous. That's quarter scale.
Dude, look at this. Did you paint these individually?
Individually. So there's on that tree, there's 360 flowers.
Dang.
And then this particular statue had 5 heads, multiple torsos, and just about 300 hours. It's a lot of work.
Dude, that's crazy. Mr. Kennedy said the thing looked amazing, and he also said love that Nightcrawler. Shout out to AK, who's usually on a panel with us. We wish we were here, AK, but glad you're here and watching.
Some close-ups of them here.
I love that.
I think this piece sold for about $6,500.
Really?
Yeah.
After painted or?
After painted, yeah.
Dude, yep. Got the mask on.
Another Franco piece. I have a lot of Franco pieces here.
Do you have a favorite sculptor to paint?
Well, people send me a lot of Franco stuff, but I liked Troy McDevitt for Hulks.
Okay.
I liked Aaron Ray Perez for Hulks as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Franco's stuff is amazing. A lot of alien sculptors I like too, but this is a Hulk that actually was on the Extreme channel. This is when I sculpted for him. And if you zoom into his mouth or look into his mouth, you see that I got the saliva. You got saliva coming down from his teeth. And I use
his tongue is wet too.
His tongue's coming out too. So
yeah, that's good. I love the vein work. All that stuff.
This is a picture of my collection.
That's your collection.
I'm a big alien collector. I collected all types of things over the years, but really Alien Predator is my love.
That guy collects them as well.
Yeah.
You got them tattooed on.
I got them tattooed.
I don't know if you
me.
can show them that thing.
Yeah, I got an alien queen on my hand and all that stuff
crazy,
too.
dude.
But this is.
You got some work, dude. Holy moly!
So this is
look at that.
A lot of life-size stuff. A lot of some people have seen this collection online. It's changed a little bit since then. I've shared pictures of that too. So it's a Silver Surfer I painted for Todd Johnson actually.
That's a Todd Johnson one right there, baby.
That's a
Shout out to
surfer,
Todd.
This guy is beautiful.
Dude,
I used the really dark paint on this one too. It's got a really gloss coat. Even at the end of it, I took car polish and I polished the whole thing for him. So now you don't get fingerprints on it, and it's super shiny.
I love how dynamic this is.
Yeah. What was cool is the wave on the bottom of the board. I made that black too, so there's stars feeding into it, going into the wave.
That's the I really love how you capture the shadow and the dark areas. And
it's all about taking good pictures too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah, he's on the move, baby.
Yeah. So the alien baby I painted for myself. You can see at the bottom where the liquid in the egg.
Yeah.
I used UV paint, and then I layered multiple layers of epoxy as the paint was inside of it. So when you shine a UV light on it, it glows just like that too.
That's dope. So you even use UV paint?
So you can see what it looks like.
Look at that shit.
And that's for a guy I did in France. That's in France now.
Dude, so you get pieces from all over the world.
This is another one I painted for Mr. X, and I did the same UV effects with all the juicy stuff he's eating there. So,
look, this is I love that. This looks like the next layer of
Well, what you're doing is adding enough layers so it almost looks translucent.
Yeah.
You don't have translucent resin, so you can't. You have to work it really hard to get that layered look. It's a fun project. Rhino, I actually doing a commission and a series of these. So I painted about 3 or 4 of these already, and people get to choose if they want one of these, either painted by myself or Matt Morosi. So,
oh, really? Yep. Look at that. I've never really seen a rhino where he just standing straight up.
It's a nice museum pose, sculpted by Troy McDevitt, commissioned by a great commissioner. So traditional sculpt too.
That looks like freaking brick concrete center block.
Funny. Well, yeah. So I had done a conversion for a good friend of mine. As you guys can see, this is the Hulk sideshow Hulk vs. Wolverine, but we converted the Wolverine to a brown Wolverine. So we took off the shoulder blades, resculpted his chest, and then obviously repainted him. And then we made the Hulk gray, and we also used custom heads from different sculptors. There's 3 heads we added. One guy in Peru, one guy in Brazil. We got heads from, and made this come alive.
This is the best version of this statue I've seen
Such
so
a good
far.
piece. So just showing a little more latitude, like skin tones and all that. This is a half scale Batman I painted for a friend of mine. But just love doing the skin tones, making it look, a little bit real, adding that shadow on the skin,
I always wondered, like, how do you choose where to scar if there's no scars there, or did this come with like
it did have
indications? Okay,
but I can add them in too. But you can do like a nice faint pink line. Matters how old or the scar is too, because as the scar ages, it gets less red over time. Yeah. So you think about that as well.
And the amount of knowledge you have to have of everything, like anatomy or just like how a muscle or a vein works.
Because the thing is someone may look at something and go, it doesn't look right. They don't know why. Yeah. But you doing all those things can make it look right. Yeah. And they can't tell you why because they're so used to seeing what things look like, but not necessarily be able to describe it. Yeah. And by getting all those things right, that's when someone looks at something and goes, that looks
yeah, because all you can do is just look at how well something is done because you're not thinking about all of the things that are wrong or you can't put your finger on it.
You never were, as an artist, you never were someone that broke down what it took to make a skin tone or make, shadows and hair or whatever that can be. So.
That's all that stuff.
Dr. Doom. I repainted this one for a good friend of mine in Florida. Super fun. I think we'll have some more pictures. Another Hulk I did. So this is an example of that's the same Samurai Wolverine, and the other ones it's a different one I did, but the base he's standing on, I did all that from scratch. Really? So we wanted to make another because they had one commissioner had made an extra pair of legs to hold the torso, so I made a whole base, and it's got a koi pond inside of it. So the next picture, if you see, I have fish swimming in a koi pond with the log. I 3D printed mushrooms and all these little plants, and added all the moss to it, and I sculpted this whole thing
This
for
is
that
dope.
base. So
Talk about levels, man. There's levels to this. What we got here? Thanks for the heads up, Nilsson. Let's Bigger Kong in the building. Bigger Kong, pop. Y'all hear that voice? I'm gonna be dead after this, but it was so worth it because of stuff like this. Who else we got? That's cool. Thank you guys for being here, Bigger Kong. Jesse Hernandez. I know Franco said Franco, baby. He's a huge fan of Franco Carlissimo. And he's also a big Silver Surfer fan as well. He says, love the details. Shout out to you, Edwin Diaz. Yeah, look, there's the fish. Yeah. Koi Pond represent.
There's some more pictures of the
Wolverine. Yeah, Adam, feel free to come look at some of this stuff.
Just being nosy.
Yep. Adam, Collector's Table. Over there putting work editing his video so he can get it to you guys.
More Hulks I did.
Hulks.
Another painted this for a good friend of mine as well. So we got going. Yep.
You did a ton of Hulks, right?
Yeah, people like my Hulks. I've been doing like the real green eyes, like the banner look. From
that gamma look. Yeah, like from exactly.
Mean, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
There's another
that's the
Hulk
variation of the one you did. Yep.
And I added the barrel to it too.
That's I like the dark one. See ya.
This is a one-off piece I did. So this is a backlash. I had a gentleman hire me out of Singapore. He hired a sculptor. He hired a factory to make one piece, 6 scale. And he paid an exorbitant amount of money for this one piece. But I made a label for him. You see the next picture. There's switch outs for it. Different whips and all that. So really wanted a backlash character, so we did backlash.
I hate to know how much you end up paying.
You paid a lot for it. Another Batman I just did. You can see some of the wounds and all that to make it look real. Some skin tones of some of the gray Hulks I did, so you can kind of see, some things I would do to the Hulks. Some of the licensed pieces.
Dude, you have so many Hulks that you have done, and each one of them are unique. I don't think, did you do any similar?
No.
Everyone is unique so far, as you guys can see from these pictures, dude. And they're same pieces that he transforms in different ways. That's so dope.
There's a red one.
Look at that. That's crazy.
This is an engineer I did for a gentleman, another guy in France, a lot of French people, holding a deacon. And we use semi-transparent resin for the hands and the head, so you can see it in the photos. If you go to the next photo, you can see sort of that semi-transparent look.
Look at that.
It's like really.
This does not look like Polystone.
No.
It looks like whatever type of skin the engineer would have.
Exactly. Yeah, it was fun.
That's
fun project. That's a 3rd scale, so he's super tall. Super tall.
That's all
right, so no one take pictures of this. I did this for a good client of mine. This is actually the brown Wolverine from Sideshow, but I converted it to a X-Force. So I repainted the entire thing. And I redid the base, redid the skin tones, the eyes, everything. So there's a couple more pictures of it.
Yes.
So you can see what it looks like. But
I love X-Force Wolverine. That's why I'm geeking out over this one right here.
You can see some of the details of the eyes too. I really wanted to make the eyes like red daggers, like he's like his expression. He's really like
nice and glossy.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks. Look at that! Look really good.
Yeah, right.
Man,
that's a sinister smile. I think the expression always bothered me, but like once I repainted it, it just looks so good.
No, I think this looks. X-Force, the red eyes always does it for me.
Oh yeah.
The contrast with the solid colors.
Yeah, it was fun. Fun piece. All right, so this is some pictures of my collection. So I'm a big alien collector, predator. I collect a lot of like custom stuff. A lot of stuff made by some of the artists who worked on the movies. Yep.
Stanley wants to know, can he hire you?
Who? Oh, send me a message.
Send him a message.
Send me a message.
Dude, yeah, no,
I do this for a living. So
this is his career right now.
Yep.
So, yep.
I remember seeing this collection online floating around, and I just didn't put a face with the name, and now I know. This is one of the best alien collections and predator collections.
I've been on a hunt of all the things that I've fell in love with over the years, so this is a lot of that.
That's
this is the current collection, so this is what my house looks like.
So we're up to the modern age.
This is the modern right now.
Look at that with different lighting.
Yeah. It's a grandpa, big shaft I got. It's a quarter scale. He's actually holding Playboys in his hand. He's fat. He's got slippers on, and he even has a diaper on.
Wow.
It's funny. I love stuff like that. So you can see the Playboys he's holding.
Look at this. He got some down here. You know, once he gets done with this one,
he's a dirty birdie, man.
Yeah.
But this is made by Gulf Studios out of Thailand. Amazing group. Painted and sculpted. So this is my living room wall. Beautiful. This is what I stare at when I watch TV. So you can kind of get an idea. But my whole living room and dining room is full of monsters. So
that's your ultimate.
Passion. Love the xenomorphs. I have a lot of predators. Scott Marshall predator heads on the right side here. A lot of the biomasks. A lot of the Sideshow and XM Studios, Prime One Studios.
I know. I saw the pit. It's sick.
I got some custom heads in there too.
Not only is this dude super talented, he's super cool.
Oh man, dude, yo,
you guys are awesome.
we were out with him last night, just vibing, not even on those statue stuff, but just on just cool, dope, fun energy.
That's why I love this community.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a walk.
All right, yep.
All right, see.
Got some neomorphs. I got tons and tons of just different artwork from the movies. There's the X-Force. I got some Hellraiser stuff, some ECC. That's that big Hulk. That's his base.
Oh, that is.
It's huge. The label for the base is this big. I've never had a label that big. It's amazing.
How do you handle shipping these back? Of course, they send you the label or whatever.
Those 3 Hulks I did, it's 4 boxes per Hulk. It's 12 boxes that are huge boxes.
Really?
So I'm shipping out to my client 17 boxes next week.
That's
just stuff. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like I'm shipping and receiving. Here's some other my gems here. We got a full-size Jonesy holding a alien. I got that's a dog alien that was actually produced near me, but it's from the original molds. It's painted by one of the best alien painters, I think, out of Germany. Beautiful work. I collect a lot of other artists' work, so it inspires me.
That's how you do it. You got to always be inspired and always try to figure out what you can learn and what you could improve on.
Exactly. I just like other people's takes on things. So it gives me ideas as well. That's Neomorph. I painted this guy.
What's up, Madam Tech? How you doing?
How you doing, bro?
Oh, nah, boom. Madam Tech in the building. Jason,
you guys live?
Tech.
Yeah, we're live right now.
What up, everybody?
This is a Neomorph I painted. It's actually a casting from the stunt suit from Odd Studios. So.
Right here.
So it was fun.
Yeah, look at this.
Right?
I like how it almost look like, like an icicle or a glacier will look all in here. That looks really good. Well done, Jason, putting in work.
Some more random pieces in my
face hug is just chilling.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Some other stuff I painted, some more Ripley stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, because then I'm just gonna be sucking on air, and you don't want to be sucking on air, because then they make a meme out of you. Yep. It's me, Evans, over here. He'll meme me in a minute.
You've already said it. They're gonna do a meme.
But I think I showed too. If you want to cycle through some more photos here, I show my paint studio too. Some Hellraiser stuff that I have.
Shout out to Gotham Cenobites. I know he would appreciate.
These are all sculpted by Gary Tunnicliffe, also painted by him. And he was the visual effects guy for most of the Hellraiser movies. So,
dude,
that's pretty cool. This piece right here has got Shatter on one side and Pinhead on the other. That one again was made by Gary as well. So that's super cool. Good.
There's Pinhead again.
Right. That's the same bust on the other side.
Oh, that's actually.
So it's two heads. Two heads on either side. Yeah, nice. It's called Two Faces of Evil, I think. Is the name of the piece. ECC Medusa, yep. Super cool piece, man. All of those are all posable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all posable. That's Steve Wang piece. Super cool.
Nice.
I just got that the other day. It was broken, and I got it in trade, but I fixed it. So you see his jaw right there. I had to resculpt some of his jaw in there. So
I wish I had a freaking ounce of the talent, you guys. So like when I break a statue, like I'm done. I'm like, oh
yeah, I know. It's heartbreaking, you know. So even when I do it, it's heartbreaking too. But you know,
but you have the ability to restore it.
Yep. Some more pictures of the bunch, and I think after this I have studio photos here.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I love Transformers too, so I got
Transformer boys represent.
Got my Queen Studios Bumblebee bus. Just got that. That thing is insanely heavy, and I got the new Optimus Prime. So I used to have a lot of love my Transformers.
That was another thing we were talking about, man.
So what I do for a living is I repair statues. I repair for Spec Fiction. I repair for a lot of them. This is another Bumblebee bus that I need to repair. You can see he's missing his head, so I have to redo that whole thing. But I love the challenge, you know. It's cool. So here's some pictures of the prototypes, the production pieces.
Yeah.
Of the paint that I did, so it's nice to see my name's on the bottom of the label. So that's pretty cool.
This is sick.
That's my 3D printing room where I do a lot of 3D printing, or a lot of times I'll add pieces to statues. So I'll print out stuff or do replacement parts and that kind of thing.
This is cool to see. Like, guys, I don't know if you guys pick up on this, but always figuring out how much space the equipment you'll need to 3D print. And then I've seen this pic with all of your paints behind it. I'm just sort of like, man.
Yeah, it's a full-fledged factory in my house.
Look
you
at
can
that.
see here, right?
Yeah,
so my stock room, all the Hulks, I still have 5 more of those kits. You know, I have my photo area. If you go to the next photo.
Man.
That's where I take all my photos.
Yeah.
You know, so
this is
just my storage / photo room / 3D printing. There's my paint studio. Right, so I didn't clean my studio for this photo. I was right before the meeting. So, but you get an idea. I actually paint my kitchen. This is half my kitchen.
Yeah.
I have a full-size spray booth in there. This is where I work. This is where all the magic happens.
Do you get the paint you use? Does it have fumes? Do you need
it does, but that's why I have the spray booth. So if you go through the pictures, you'll see there's where I sit and paint.
Oh, now you got it.
And I got my monitor up
there.
Kick
up like that.
Yeah. And then if we go further, that's kind of where I do all my grinding and all that. That's where all the dust goes. So I try to minimize the fumes and dust as much as I can within my house. So.
As I said, with that setup, you could be Mr. Sinister.
Yeah. That's for all the dust. It sucks the air down. So if I'm grinding things down or sanding, it just sucks it all down. So
I love to see how the sausage made, like stuff like this. It's just sort of
it's been really useful. And that's kind of the booth area. That's my spray booth. Love that thing. I can fit anything in there. So you can see this is my counter, right?
Yeah.
Got a J&D statue I'm repairing. I got there's a Sentinel from Sideshow. I'm redoing the whole thing.
If you ever want cheese, you could just shred it yourself right there. No need. That's
where I wash my statues too. You can see it. And I got a rhino there. I got to paint. So there's always things cycle through the studio. So.
This is awesome. Awesome.
There's a spray booth. Oh, love it.
Look at that.
You can climb inside of there. It's fantastic.
That thing's huge. You got your
my logo on there.
Customs, baby. That's the logo. That's the company.
Oh, that's me.
And that's the thumbnail we use.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Obviously, if you have any questions, I'm always willing and Always willing and able to answer questions for people if they want to do repairs themselves and you just have questions too. I do that as well. But if you're interested, you need repairs or paint work. Paint work I'm pretty booked out for, but repairs I usually fit in. So I can.
Cool. But yeah, I know I'm gonna utilize this, dude. I'm gonna be in contact because, dude, like, hey, just for audiophile stuff and for statue stuff and being able to know somebody that can repair something for me because there's stuff that I moved and was like, oops.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm just sort of like, I know that that's missing right there on my side.
And you can't unsee it.
Yeah,
right?
and I can't unsee it, and you know, I just like irked me. But dude, Jason, thank you so much for spending your time. Because there's so much stuff to see here.
Oh, yeah.
But sitting here, wasted 50 minutes, not wasted. I don't know.
Oh, it's been great, man.
It's been awesome, but being able to sit here and talk about the paint aspect and actually get behind the scenes of what you do. S7 Customs, where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram, S7_customs. I'm also on Facebook. So anywhere you can message me and see my work.
Do we have time for one more question from Casual Nerd Problems?
Sure.
What does Jason recommend to clean statues? I use water on a microfiber towel. Anything else we can use to make it?
So I would do this. Go to a like a Hobby Lobby or a hobby store.
Yeah.
And buy like the real. It's almost like a feather duster brush.
Yeah. Okay.
And get those to brush off the dust. Water works only if the dust is actually stuck to the statue. But in a lot of cases, if you use the duster brush, it protects anything that's fragile, but also gets most of the dust off. I also use a rechargeable air blower instead of using the canned ones because you can just recharge it and you can get them on Amazon.
Okay.
And they do a high pressure air hose too. So, but a lot of people for like a full cleaning, because you got to clean your statues at least maybe once a year.
And when you
water,
say clean,
water
you're not
with a
talking
rag.
about just dusting. You just talk about.
But water with a rag is a great way to do it because you don't want to use any solvents because the solvents could take some of the paint off.
Gotcha.
But water is really just to get the dust and dirt off.
That's good. I have not cleaned any mines. I dust them regularly, religiously.
But you'll see if something's really dusty and then you like dust it off, you're like, oh man, the colors are so much brighter. You know?
I told them like sometimes when you do even dusting, if you keep up with it so that it doesn't get to the point where it cakes up, it's like HD again. It's just sort of like,
What you do have to be careful about is mixed media because
that. Yeah.
So much dust gets in that fabric, so that's a tough one. So
cool. Well, Jason, get over here. I don't care if I drop the laptop. I'm getting that hug from Jason. Dude, Casual, thanks for the question. That's right. Reach out to S7 Customs, Instagram. Be on here. Look at Cash in the background, just chilling. I'm gonna hang out with him soon.
I got a question for Jason. Most important question that there is.
Okay.
Are you team COC or team BBC? Remember, ladies love the BBC.
COC.
Yeah! Get out of here, BBC. Nobody likes you. Get out of here. COC representing. Jason's down with the COC. I'm down with S7 Customs. It's been awesome being here, and we'll be back for one more with Mr. X, maybe if we could find some time for him. And then after that, I'm just going to go hang out with Cash. I'm going to hang out with Jason until he freaking leaves, hang out with the people, because that's all I'm doing, because you hear his voice? It's dead. It's dead. Later, guys. Peace. Oh, man. Thanks for doing that.